been immersed in music since I was 12, learning piano and play oboe and spent 6 years in symphony orchestra. Sound has always been how I connect to the world and how I receive information. But I've never asked how does a silent word feel, express, and understand? This question sparked my curiosity. Hello everyone, my thesis is titled Deafscape and Hearingscape, Communication Beyond Spoken Language. My name is Yuan Kongjing, I come from China, and I'm an industrial designer. As I mentioned, we sense a word in many ways, but how does a silent word, a deafscape, do that? How can I connect without knowing sign languages, and where do I even start? Through my interactions, I found the entry point into deafscape. The key is CODA, hearing children of deaf adults, who navigate the both worlds, and in the process of learning and connection, I also came across another unique group, it's called DHP, the deaf children of hearing parents. They represent the reverse of CODAs, but both groups live at the intersection of two very different worlds. I interviewed CODA special education professors and sign language interpreter. Their insights helped shape my design direction. I also organized an online workshop focused on the CODAs and the pain point within mixed language using family and the deaf world. Start from their pain point, I decided to address the issue on these three levels. Hearing their quotation and experiences helped me see the inclusive design in a new way. A deaf community owns their own culture, like an island, where they thrive. But in the hearing world, hearing center world, they were expected to adapt. The DHP and the CODA served as a bridge between the island and the mainland. Many design to deaf adapt to the hearing norms, but I want to support them live well and shape in the shared world on their own terms. Our design will develop around these three scapes and design the 4 zones for them. Let's begin to the chapter 1, Between the Two Worlds. Between the two worlds, it supports the family use mixed language. Many struggling CODA and DHP face like emotion distance and miscommunication come from language imbalance. The quote from Professor Yu-Yin Liang highlights the key point. In the mixing language using family, uneven language skills often limited communication. Tech can help shape the information, but real emotional conversation, especially between parents and children, are still hard. DHP often have a hearing parents don't sign, and CODAs may not fluent either. This imbalance is the root of the problem. So my question is, how may we create a shared awareness at home? Can communication happen effortlessly like air naturally flowing through the shared space? It's lead to my first project, SignSight, make the shared awareness visible. SignSign is a smart home device designed for mixed language using family and a deaf household. Unlike the voice-based device like Google Nest and Alexa, mixed language using family need both voice and visual inputs. In a deaf household, it means use mic and camera as input, speaker projects as output. For the visual input, I use a MediaPipe, an AI tool that turns human body movements into data using a standard camera. I explored sketch and forms, choose a round rectangle style to blend tech feeling and emotional warmth and modular design. I also test different scales, 3D printing prototypes, and refine the portability and the ergonomical grip. This system has 3 parts. The first is the auto-tracking camera stand, and second is a core module with a camera and a projector. The third one is a smart blob. Unlike the voice-based device like Siri, this one uses clip to activate motion capture and send data to device. It also responds to voice inputs. You can see, hey, sight, to wake it up. Let's take a look on the product features video. Since the projection can't cover every corner of the room, the smart bulb provides the visual cues through the light signal to indicate events. Let's take a look on the using scenario video.
Hey sign, what is property in sign language?
After complete the first project, we move to chapter 2, design from Hearingscape. Hearingscape means design for the sign language learner, and it include all sign language learner as well as CODA and DHP in their earlier stage of their sign language learning journey. Smart designs can help the convenience, but the real boundary is a language imbalance. To truly address it, we need to focus on the sign language itself. A spoken language is a line, sign language is a cube. A 3D language composes 5 components. They are hand shapes, location, movement, plumb orientation, and non-minor signals. Sign language rely on 5 components working together, and the statex is different from spoken language. Often use term, topic, comment structure. It makes it even harder for hearing people to learn it. After learning the grammar, ASL interpreter Kabaski noticed that most app feels just like a dictionary. They show signs, but not grammar or flow. The key issue include inconsistent visual, poor movement, hand shapes links, and no real-time expression capture. So my question is, how can we build shared understanding through sign languages? Especially, how can learner grasp the spectrum grammar through interactive, visual, and immersive experiences? Then I conduct the test. Use the Java and the MediaPipe to create interactive sign language motion. Explore how well MediaPipe capture dynamic sign languages movements. So we arrived to our second project, SignSight Interactive Hub for learning sign languages. SignSight Interactive Hub is a gesture-based learning app connected to the smart home system SignSight. It helps bridging the communication gaps in the mixed language using family, especially where the language skills are unbalanced. Let's take a look how it works. First, the projection is activated and go to a home screen. Choose your control method, mobile control or sign control. For this demo, we're gonna use sign control. MediaPipe now is tracking your movement, and detailedly, the MediaPipe gonna break down your gesture into 5 components, perfectly match the 5 essential elements of sign language. Now let's begin to learn sign languages. Start from hand shape as our first example. First, you can activate the auto tracking system and type in I love you. It's gonna show an example. You can play, pause, and see which components form the sign. For deep understanding, click the button to see the detailed breakdown for each gestures, and it's how the frame learning works. Now, let's explore how the comprehensive learning operates. The module addresses the difference between sign language and spoken languages order, help you structure your sign correctly. For example, if you're typing I went to a library yesterday, the app will break it down into individual signs and reorder according to the sign language statex. You can tap each sign to see how it's performed and replay them together. The sign also provides a hint, like finger spell A from mouse to the air. Let's move to chapter 3, Devscape. Return to the map. At the third level of our design, we focus on the emotional express, this time from a deaf perspective. After learning the sign language, we realized that facial expressions and body language is just important. They are like tone of voice for deaf people, but there are still some challenges. Deaf interpreter Chi explained that deaf people read emotions through facial expressions, while the hearing people rely on the tone. For example, same sentence can feel different just by tone, but caption often miss that. So, how may we bridge the emotional gaps between deaf and hearing communications and the communities? How may we make the emotional more visible and mutual beyond words, sound, and spoken tones? It leads to our third project, Mood, See the Feeling. Mood is an emotional recognition dynamic subtitle system designed to translate the emotional tones in spoken language into dynamic subtitle and fluent curves. Even though the AI emotional tools are advanced, they rarely give the visual or accessible results at working well for deaf communication. Based on the Russell's emotional model, we use different color to represent the 4 quadrants, showing the change and the violence and the intensity. I also choose easy to read font and add animation effects that match each emotional quadrant. On the homepage, user can adjust the size of the animation subtitle to make it more comfortable and less distracting during the conversation. Let's take a look how it works.
Okay, today's the day. I can't believe it's finally happening. I've been thinking about this all week. Outfit looks good. Everything's packed. I just hope everything goes smoothly. Honestly, I'm kind of nervous, but in a good way, you know? Oh, butterflies. But yeah, do this.
After the chat app will show the text summary, user can tap part of the conversation to see the emotional feedback and mood change. After that, we came to the deaf gain, a term from the book Deaf Gain. It shows how loose one of the sensors can strengthen others, and how sign language holds deep cultural value, and this idea formed my fourth project, designed for the better understand between deaf and hearing people. In this UX design, the silent coffee is a one-on-one chat without speaking. Participants can use nonverbal cues to connect, give the hearing people a glimpse into deaf communication and expressions. I created a brochure, a hint card on the backside of the invitation card, showing the basic sign language gestures to help the participants better understand the deaf culture and during the coffee chat. After the coffee chat, one reflection stayed with me. Communication without spoken language is difficult, but somehow I can better remember the verbiage, lively person sitting across from me. Again, deafness is not a loss, but again, a cultural, a cognitive alternative that enrich the human experiences. Looking at the back, the thesis has been more than just 4 projects. It's been a journey of learning how to really listen even without sound. Each step helped me better understand the communication means. It's not just a word, it's a presence, it's emotion, it's being seen. What I've come realize is silence isn't empty, it's full of meaning if we're willing to meet it halfway. To everyone who support me through this journey, endless love and gratitude to you all. A heartfelt thank you to all the coders, DHP, and deaf friends who support me with so much care and insights through this journey. Again, let me send one more time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know one of the things that you wanted to talk about that you've been thinking about is this distinction between inclusive design and what we might think about as invasive design.
Yes.
So when you're serving another culture, you need to be a little bit careful. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that.
Yes, like already some existing products on the market, like the vibration bracelets, but that from the user is a little bit aggressive to the user when I do the interviews. So I think if we put a smart object at home and don't touch with the users, it's more like inclusive design from my perspective in this time.
Nice. Tell us a little bit more about DeafGain.
The deaf gain. Yes, like just what I said is like deaf people live on the island. It's not means they're not workable. They live really, really well. And lots of design is helping them to align with the hearing world because we dominated it. So yeah, this is how I changed my design directions when I'm doing the research because I read that book, The Deaf Gain, and also from the interpreters and deaf people's talking with that.
I have to say thank you like this.
Yeah, thank you like that.
Please welcome to the stage